XRP, here we go. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. XRP up 1% today. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 days in a row to the upside. We actually had a nice rally all the way up to 0.50601 before rejecting off of our 1100 daily moving average. And what's interesting is that also rejected off of the 50 exponential moving average on the weekly 2 weeks ago. Now, this weekly candle we're in right now still has 2 days, 2 hour, or 3 days, 2 hours left, sorry. And we have broken the trend line on the weekly to the upside, which is good. It came back last week, retested that, and we are moving to the upside this week. But right now, it's interesting because we're running into this level where it's a very, very important key decision level right here, where it's been, this was obviously a resistance and it moved down from there. And then now this week, it has run up to that level and it's a resistance. And when we switch back to the daily, that resistance level is our 1100 exponential moving average. So crazy interesting there to see what's going on. Are we going to reject the downside here? Can we battle through to the upside? We're going to really dive into that in today's video. Let's remove these here. Let's pull up our 21 exponential as well and our 50 primary. So now we have our 21 exponential moving average right here where price has been continuously retesting off of. We do have our 50 exponential moving average right here. And we also have our 50 simple moving average, the yellow line. Now we do also have our 1100 exponential moving average, and we'll dive into and dissect all of that stuff in the charts here in today's video. We are going to cover Ripple protests. SEC's move to block third-party evidence, says regulator mischaracterizing law in the XRP lawsuit. And this is what we covered in yesterday's video about how these third-party companies, there's 2 companies that wanted to come and provide evidence in support of Ripple, and the SEC is trying to block that. We'll cover that. We're also going to jump into the EU regulators ban cross-border payments from Russia crypto accounts. We're going to look into that a little bit today. We do know that there's craziness going on around the world with Russia. What does this do to the ability to move funds for them? We'll look into that. Also, some NFT news that I thought was pretty interesting. Nifty news. Yuga Labs launches Bored Ape Yacht Club Council and Animoca Cool Cats, or Animoca Backs Cool Cats, and more. So we'll definitely dive into that. And also 3 Arrows Capitals on the opposite spectrum of NFTs. 3 Arrows Capital's NFT collection is to be liquidated. And they have some really, really top-notch NFTs in there too. So we'll see, are the bears going to continue to push down the NFT market as well? Or the bulls step in here, swoop these up like it's no problem, and then make the market revive? So we'll dive into all of that. And then at the end of the news, we will jump back into the charts. So let's kick it off right here. Ripple protests the SEC's move to block third-party evidence. Ripple Labs is protesting the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission's move to block this third-party evidence in the lawsuit the regulatory agency filed against them. According to the evidence procured by defense lawyers James Phelan, Ripple recently penned a letter to Judge Annalisa Torres saying that the SEC is mischaracterizing the law by moving the contest third-party briefs submitted by iRemit and TapJets. And if you remember yesterday, we covered, well, 2 days ago, we covered what was in the iRemit situation. Then yesterday, we covered how the SEC is trying to block it. And now today, Ripple comes back with another counter move to protest the SEC's blocking. And you can see here how Ripple responded. The SEC mischaracterized both the briefs and the law when it claims that when proffered amicus briefs of iRemit and TapJets constitute improper attempts by Movance to offer evidence outside the constraints of discovery restrictions, the rules of evidence, and this court's prior order. iRemit and TapJets are independent third parties, otherwise unconnected with this litigation. They seek permission to file the briefs to offer the court their important perspective on whether industry participants invested in XRP, whether they expected profits from defendants' efforts, and how the SEC's theory of this case is adopted by the court would adversely impact their business. Now, if you guys remember, we talked about this. A lot of people, when they first got XRP, they did not expect XRP to go up because of the fact that Ripple, the company, was growing, right? It wasn't like buying the stock of Ripple, because Ripple has an actual stock. You can literally go invest in Ripple, the company, the real Ripple company, okay? XRP is not that situation. You're not buying XRP to help pump up the stock of Ripple, right? This is not AMC buying it and hoping like we're going to go up. XRP is its own individual entity, and everyone who I know bought it because they wanted to see cryptos go up, and XRP they thought was going to go up, which it did do until the SEC files this court case and then crushes the entire XRP community. So iRemit and TapJet, they provide the court with information concerning their business operations and industries to support their perspectives. There is nothing wrong with that. Private jet ride-sharing service TapJets and remittance company iRemit initially asked to serve as amicus curiae, or friends of the court, on October 4th. Amicus curiae can submit documents to the court known as amicus briefs as long as they contain relevant information about the case and are accepted by the court beforehand. TapJet said it was interested in the case because it plans on using XRP as a currency, while iRemit says it used Ripple's cross-border payment system. 2 days later, the SEC objected to the firms joining the case, saying that it was an attempt to introduce evidence into the case outside the traditional constraints of discovery. According to Ripple, the SEC has no business in suing them in the first place if they can't handle evaluating amicus briefs that attempt to refute their claims. The SEC has sought summary judgment based on what it erroneously claims are disputed facts, that every purchase of XRP is an investment and that every XRP purchaser expects profits from Ripple's efforts. Nothing could be more to the point than these two amicus briefs refuting, or at least disputing, both points. If the SEC cannot evaluate the veracity of such claims, then it had no business bringing the litigation in the first place. And the SEC sued Ripple in late of 2020, claiming that the payments platform was selling XRP as an unregistered security. And in some world news, EU regulators banned cross-border payments. So in statement on October 6, regulators in the EU banned all crypto payment asset wallets, accounts, and custodial services from Russia. In a statement released on October 6, the European Union introduced another set of sanctions against Russia due to the prolonged and recently escalated conflict in Ukraine. The sanctions include a complete ban on cross-border payments between Russians and the EU. The statement includes the prohibition of all crypto asset wallets, accounts, or custody services, irrespective to the amount of the wallet. New sanctions were installed as a response to Russia's annexation of Ukraine territory as the result of the EU's call a sham referendum, along with troop mobilization and threats of nuclear escalation. The previous sanctions capped crypto payments from Russia to EU wallets at 10,000 euros, approximately $9,900. However, this new total ban on a cross-border crypto payment between the regions aligns with the EU's desire to further deprive the Kremlin's military of industrial complex of key components and technologies. This comes shortly after Russian officials' approval of the usage of crypto for cross-border payments, which that just happened the other day, and I covered that in the article. In the policy which approves such transactions, lawmakers described ways to acquire cryptocurrency and its uses. The decision aligned with the Central Bank of Russia's agreement to legalize crypto for cross-border payments a few weeks prior to September 5th. In its relations with China, Russia aims to use central bank digital currency, which is currently in a pilot phase for transaction settlements. Previously, in 2020, the country adopted a law that banned payments via digital assets. However, proceeding with the latest tightening of sanctions from the EU, Russia faced additional blockages from the United States. On September 15th, the U.S. Treasury Department added 22 Russian individuals and 2 entities based in the country to its own list of sanctions as a result of neo-Nazi paramilitary activity. And nifty news, Yuga Labs information. Let's take a look. Yuga Labs has announced new Bored Ape Yacht Club Community Council to help the project grow and thrive. The team revealed 7 council members in October 5th blog post, noting that there are all OGs who have been around since the early days of Bored Ape Yacht Club. Yuga Labs said it assembled a new community council made up of apes with proven track record of proactively and positively contributing to the club since the start. The council was formed with the intention of representing the club at large and providing an avenue for new perspectives, Yuga Labs wrote. Yuga Labs stated that it will engage with the community and gather feedback from the firm, working with Yuga on community-driven initiatives such as commercial projects, meetups, and charity work. Animoca Brands partners with Cool Cats. NFT venture fund giant Animoca Brands has made a strategic investment into the blue chip NFT project called Cool Cats to help the project expand into new avenues such as gaming. The October 5th announcement from the duo states that the partnership will drive Cool Cat's mission to become the largest global NFT brand and a robust media and content company, including through expansion of its gaming offerings. Cool Cats was launched in July of 2021 and consists of 9,999 cartoon cat avatars. The project has generated over $369 million worth of NFT sales volume to date, according to the CryptoSlam data. The latest announcement has also coincided with Cool Cat's sales volume pumping 220% in the past 24 hours. Three Arrows Capital NFT collection to be liquidated. So Three Arrows Capital, over 300 NFTs from Starry Night Capital were moved this week. Teneo, the liquidation firm in charge of the Three Arrows Capital bankruptcy process, confirmed in a statement of Cointelegraph on October 5th that it has custody of the NFTs moved from addresses related to Starry Night Capital, a fund launched by the co-founders of the now bankrupt hedge fund. According to the firm, the collection move was part of the liquidator's duty of identifying assets and maximizing recoveries on behalf of all creditors. A report from Bloomberg estimated that the Starry Night Capital collection total value sits at around $35 million, represents only a tiny fraction of the Three Arrows Capital debt of $2.8 billion to the creditors. The firm's statement said, "We would like to make it clear that VVD has cooperated with the JLs in an effort to protect the value of these assets for the benefit of all relevant stakeholders and has sought to ensure that no Starry Night portfolio assets would be deposed or improperly or without sanction of the BVI court if required." All right, jumping over here to the charts, up 1% still, no movement here late in the day. We're going to take a look here at the Heikin-Ashi candles and see what could potentially be going on. So first and foremost, we do have our daily supply and demand box right here. We're going to color that one in yellow. The good news is that will be our immediate support if this resistance that it has been running into does actually create a drawback. So as we can see, that price could fall here, act as a support. We're also noticing that the 21 exponential moving average is continuing to climb as well. That support line comes in at 47 cents, 46.9, right? So 47 cents. And our 21 exponential moving average is currently sitting at 44.85, so like 45 cents. So could we see a retest of 45 cents, retesting the 21 exponential like it has here, and then the boost up to that 55-cent level? That's what we're really watching and waiting to see price get back to that 55-cent level. And then we have to go back in history. If you guys remember, we talked about this yesterday. Our next move to the upside will be coming in at this supply and demand candle, this green doji candle that happened right here. And then that one gets us up to that 65-cent level. The bottom of that, obviously, at 58 cents. But as we climb it, 65 cents would be the top of the box. So right now we have 45 cent, the top of the box here. Then we climb to 55 cent here. Then we climb to 65 cent on the way up. And then we'll go ahead and cover even more exciting news as we go up even another level to this one here. We'll see that's a 75-cent level. Okay, so 55, 65, 75, like we've been talking about. Now, if for some crazy reason price decides to climb back down, well, first and foremost, it's just going to be stair-stepping down our moving averages before, if all of those broke, which would be crazy. I mean, it's not, I'm not saying it can't, but if those broke, our supply and demand candle is down here at 34 cents for the daily supply and demand. So on the way down, like I just said, our 21 exponential moving average is currently sitting at 44, let's see here, 44.653, so 45 cents. Then we could see possibly move to the 50 moving average, which is currently sitting at 40 cents. And then we have our last resort support here at 38 cents on the 50 moving, but they've all crossed bullish. All right. So we have that to keep in mind. Also to keep in mind on our daily move, our market baseline continues to climb, very bullish. Okay. So that's good news. Now, the only thing that is a little sus is the fact that we've gotten overbought here up to 85, come down, and we're about to be overbought again at the 70 after today. Does that give us move to the downside as a rally or a relief, because there was a big pump there? That's on the daily. Now, when we switch over, though, to the weekly, we are looking really, really good. Price is continuing to climb. Yes, we did run into the volatility band here. We can push through that. That just needs to continue lifting up. The only issue is, as we, unfortunately today, with everything that was going on in the markets, so yesterday, we ran into the 21 exponential. Today, which is now over, there's a new day that's starting because it's stocks and indices. It touched the 21 exponential again, okay? And then it dropped down, and it's about to bounce off our 4-hour supply and demand zone. Will it rally back up? We need that. We need this to continue to rally, the S&P 500, the QQQ. We need these things to continue rallying. As you can see, they've all dumped off of that 21 exponential moving average. We want to see those things continue to climb. US 30, same thing, right? So all of our indices bounced at the same exact time. Bitcoin also having a rebound here, but Bitcoin is bouncing off the 50 exponential moving average, okay? We also have Ethereum. Ethereum's bouncing off the 21 exponential moving average. We have Shiba Inu also bouncing off the moving average. And of course, we're covering right now XRP also bouncing off of a moving average. Now, we did pump above these, luckily, but we are running into a more long-term resistance. So is there some downside potential? Yes, there is. We're at the top of a volatility band. We could see doesn't mean long-term, right? So we could see a return down here. What do we still have? Still have this fair value gap that needs to be filled, which is right here at 39 cents. Does it fall all the way down to 34 cents again? Only time will tell. But we do have a problem because it did bounce off our weekly 50 moving average, and it's not really pumping through this 45 cent level or 49 cent level, this 50 cents, not claiming it, right? We need, like we talk about all the time, we need to claim it as a support. Up here, body broken, body tested, and then moving up. So time will tell. Keep watching that. Don't forget to subscribe if you're liking the content. We're going to cover this every single day. Thank you so much. And by the way, if you're looking for a way to potentially really take advantage of and maximize this bull market that's about to happen, obviously we're close to the bottom of this bear. If you want to find out how to take full advantage of it with some passive income opportunities, check this out.